just our program tonight, photo organizing, live question and answer. So we're just testing out the equipment, and I want to make sure that our sound is working. How does it sound over there? Not getting anything. Well, my in-studio help tonight is not hearing anything. So if you're watching, drop a comment in the chat area or the comment area and let us know that you can hear us and how we sound, because it really does help. So in the meantime, I'll just angle this over. Hannah, you want to say hello? Yep. And we will get started right at 6:30. I see Robin is here and she can hear. That is fantastic. It's amazing, all of the little pieces that go together to do this live. Oh, and Karen is here as well. I'm so glad to see the both of you. I feel like I have some friends out in the audience already. And I know people always have a variety of questions. So tonight I'm going to answer a few that have come up in the past week. And I'm going to touch upon something that we spoke about last week also that I forgot to mention. So if you have a question you're looking for to get answered, tonight or, next week, definitely drop it in the comment area. So now that I know that technology is working okay, I feel a little better, and I'm looking forward to what we're going to share tonight. So I know Robin's from Pennsylvania, and Karen, I think it's Arizona. Karen, I probably just am blanking. I know you told me. And Eileen is here. This is great. That's my mother-in-law, my biggest fan, joining in. And thank you for being here. So I think I'm just getting a little crazy with my showing the comments. There's a little area where you can select them to show. And if I miss it, I apologize. It's not because I don't want to share what everybody has to say. It's just sometimes there's a lot to scroll through. So anyway, we're a couple minutes out, and I am excited. Tonight, I actually have our little Epson Fastfoto scanner here to give a demonstration on. So I actually have two computers hooked up and the scanner and a variety of other things. If I actually showed you the cord mess around here, it's a wonder you can keep anything straight. So let's see. I should mention, maybe while we're waiting here, that I continue to check in with Apple support on this issue I've been having with downloading pictures from iCloud. So it's actually like day 33 since the first person posted in the Apple community. So it's an online forum where people can post questions. On April 6th, someone said they couldn't download their pictures from iCloud. Now, these are people who have their phone photos. They have an iPhone and their pictures went up to iCloud, and they just wanted to go to iCloud.com and download them. Currently, some people are having troubles with this. They can only download a few at a time instead of the 500 that you would hope at once. It is day 33 that we're waiting for an answer. And in the discussion, I see a lot of people are thinking about switching to Android, which I'm not sure that's any much good, better of a solution, because there's issues with Google and downloading photos as well. So I think it is 6:30. We're going to get the show on the road, and we definitely, I see Robin has a question that she needs to stop having her pictures all go to the clouds, Amazon and all of that. She just wants them to go to one place. Boy, that is the trick. So I will try to touch upon that tonight as well for you. So tonight's program, first of all, my name is Molly Bartelt. I am the co-founder of Pixologie, and I help people go from being overwhelmed and unsure of what to do with their pictures to being confident and motivated to get the job done. I have organized tons and tons of photos for our clients here, and our services can be pricey. So I always like to have some solutions for people who would prefer to learn how to do it themselves and maybe avoid the cost of having someone else do it. So that is purpose of our call here tonight. And I aim to do these once a week, normally on Mondays. So thank you for those of you who've joined me tonight. And if you have a question, you drop it in there or email me or whatever. I'll answer it in the future. So, all right. The last thing I'm going to ask is, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or even LinkedIn, I just added that tonight. If you can give the video a thumbs up or a like or a comment or anything like that, all of that helps for more people to see, this important information, because we really are at risk of losing some of our pictures. Maybe not the ones that we took 3 days ago, but maybe. What about the ones from 5 years ago and 10 years ago? We've been digital for a very long time, and more people need to know that they probably need to focus on their pictures a little bit more than just trusting that these cloud providers are taking well care of the memories. So my agenda for tonight is a few things. Last week we had the question, what does it mean when a file cannot be copied without or with its properties? So this is an issue, and I'll be talking about that in a second, that I dived deeper in on it because I couldn't answer it last week. I'm also going to do just a quick demonstration of the Epson Fastfoto 680. I do have a public service announcement about live photos. If you have an iPhone, you really need to hear this. I'll also just put a pitch out there for the organizing photos masterclass that I'm doing and answer any other questions that might come up. So let us dive in to this question. What does it mean when a file cannot be copied without its properties? So this question came up because I think it was Marva, or I'm not quite sure, last week. She was copying pictures from her computer to, I think, a USB drive or an external hard drive. And it's worrisome because the message says, do you want to copy this without its properties? Well, that sounds kind of ominous, like scary. And to be honest, here at Pixologie, we got that message for a long time when we would copy pictures from computers to other drives, like a USB, the little thumb drives, flash drives, or an external hard drive. And we don't anymore. So I really didn't remember how we resolved that. And I still don't. But what I found out as I explored this online, what's happening is the computer is noticing that you're going to copy or move files without some of its properties. And I'm reading this now because this is technical, without some of its properties from an NTFS drive to a FAT drive, FAT drive. And it means simply that the properties will be lost, whereas the file will remain intact and functional. Well, what the heck does that mean? Fortunately, I knew what the NTFS is and what FAT is. So I'm going to just show you this next screenshot. This is an issue for PC users, okay? This doesn't happen on a Mac computer. So in the background of this photo, you can see I have my File Explorer up, and I have right-clicked on that USB drive D that's right in the middle of the left-hand column. It says USB drive D, and it's gray. I right-clicked on it, and I selected Format USB drive. And when you do that, you're going to get a message that says, do you want to erase the contents of the drive? And most of the time you don't want to do that. but occasionally you may want to format a flash drive, and this is how you do it. So NTFS is a standard Windows file format or format for a drive. It's Windows based only, okay? And FAT32 and exFAT, I think, are more generic. So if you use a drive that's formatted with a FAT format, you can use it between a PC and a Mac. Now, nobody really needs to know about this, but the reason why I wanted to show you that is it's related to the format of the drive. So when we go back to this definition, we see that NTFS drive to a FAT drive, it's losing some of its properties. All right. Now, normally, I get a little worried when properties are being lost because I'm thinking like, date taken of the photo or, a tag or a comment, but it's really referring to something that deals with the drive information. So this is the further definition that I saw, is that the reason that NTFS file system basically can support some properties, such as properties related to ADS and file encryption information. So this is saying that the properties that aren't going to be copied are the ADS and file encryption information. Nobody cares about that. I don't. I never even would have dreamed to worry about it. But the computer, the PC, is prompting you to tell you you're going to lose that. Nobody needs it. All right. So the resulting answer in the web article that I found was, we can conclude that this message is just a note, not a problem you need to fix. So, so if you are coming up with that message, it is irritating because it can happen over and over if you're copying frequently to a drive. And I did not get a good solution for that. You can just, move on and let it copy without the properties. And if you feel like you're still not sure, I'm just going to put another slide up here that shows the properties that we care about in a picture. So when you're in the File Explorer and you right-click on a photo, you can get the properties. It's an option on the bottom, and you get the properties, and we care about the date taken, the size, tags, and comments. So if you want to check this on the photos that you've copied over to the drive, you can get the properties and make sure that the date taken and the size, are the same as the photo that's on your computer. I'm hoping that makes sense. If it's not quite clear, you can drop a question, and you could also rewatch it because sometimes I have to rewatch things and remind myself, okay, what did I just learn? Because this is so technical, and it's just another example of these big tech companies. They have all these solutions for us, and then you have all these variety of problems, and there's no manual for it. No manual. Unbelievable. So that's the answer to that question. All right. Yeah, you can just copy without the properties. Now, the next item that I wanted to share tonight was another idea for scanning oversized items. We spoke about that last week, and I think, this was especially related to newspaper articles that were very large. Sometimes people have drawings or artwork that is oversized. So PhotoMine is another idea. We settled last week on, maybe your iPhone might be just the best answer in a pinch to take a picture of something large. PhotoMine is an app on your phone, and they're very nice. They have let me talk to people and talk to their audience, and they're nice company. They have an app that goes on your phone that can scan oversized items, and we like the quality of that kind of scan as another option for you with a large item. So before I go on to the demonstration of the Epson scanner, which is next, I'm just going to put up, Karen is on top of it tonight. She checked her photos metadata with the original photo and the copied photo, and they were the same. Well, Karen, you're like my right hand here tonight. That is amazing that you could do that so quick. I really, really appreciate that, because I can't get the error to happen here at Pixologie anymore, because it's been years, and I'm not sure why we don't have that copy without properties thing coming up anymore. So there you have it. Karen answered that question for us. But you can always verify, okay? It's always good to listen and verify, and Karen did just that. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to go into the Epson Fastfoto 680W scanner demonstration. And I am just doing this tonight because we talked about the scanner settings, I think, a little bit last week. And I thought people might like to know what that option is if you have thousands of pictures to scan. You really need something better than a flatbed scanner. So I'm actually going to share the screen to the computer that I have with the scanner attached to it. And I might even just, I'm afraid to turn myself off because I might disappear on you. So we'll just go like this. So what I'm going to do first, we are looking at the kind of the window to scan with Epson Fastfoto. It is extremely simple looking, and I'm just going to maximize it here. The words aren't any larger for you to see, but there's a start scanning button, and that's the only one I worry about over here. There is a folder which shows you which folder that you're looking at. And then all the way to the right is settings. So we're going to click on settings. And the first tab I want you to look at is organization. So right away, you see that you can save your photos in a specific folder. All right. And if you want to change that, you can just click the folder button and change it. You can also give the pictures a prefix, a file name prefix. So I'm going to scan a 1960s photo, and I will use that prefix for it, okay? I do not check prompt me to describe each batch of photos before scanning. The program will like automatically name your pictures, and I don't always think that it makes sense. I want to name my scanned pictures because I've organized them, and I don't need the computer to the program to figure that out for me. So I generally recommend when you have a batch of pictures that the folder has its name with the year first and the description. And then the file name prefix, I leave it the same. It's one less thing to think about. So I teach just leave it the same. And it works very nicely. And just so that you notice, I'm going to click cancel here for a second. And I'm going to open the scanned photos folder on my desktop. I leave my 3 folders on my desktop: photos to organize, master family photos, and scanned photos. And I have the scanned photos on the desktop, and then I can look in my 1960s Cordis photos, and there's nothing there yet, but I'll be able to look at that very soon and see that the pictures are showing up exactly where I want them to. So opening up the Fastfoto again, and I'm going back to the settings. Next, we're going to go to enhancements. So you can see that the scanner has several settings that are really helpful. Auto enhance, remove red eye, restore faded colors. And then it has the question, apply these enhancements directly to the scanned photo or to a second copy of the photo recommended. They recommend that because I don't think they've ever actually had to deal with thousands of pictures that you have a duplicate of. And now you have to decide, do I like the original or the enhanced photo? We actually teach to just save it directly to the scanned photo so you have the one picture and you don't have to decide later on, which one you're going to keep. And I feel like this is worth your time a little bit to test the scanner and make sure you like the enhancements. And then if you're satisfied, continue scanning. So for our purposes tonight, I am going to do the to a second copy of the photo because like I said, you want to test it. We also want to look in the scan settings. And there's 3 types here: standard photos, instant photos, and then panoramic photos. I have it set to instant photos, and this is intended for Polaroids. Polaroids are a little thicker to go into the scanner, and if you're on the standard photos section or selection, if you put a Polaroid in there, it will jam it. It won't scan. So we actually leave it on instant photos, and then it scans both regular pictures and instant photos. And we haven't noticed any difference in that. So I'm going to leave it at that. We scan at 600 dots per inch, and then we have JPEG format. You also have the option to scan the back sides of photos, and I'll check it. My picture doesn't have anything on the back, but it's going to only save the back of photos that have any detectable printing or handwriting. So that's kind of nice. The last area is advanced settings, and I have auto rotation on and curled photo correction and reducing lines and streaks. The auto rotation is like 50-50. I'm not sure that it actually helps because sometimes pictures that went in right side up end up being upside down in the scanning process. So I just leave it on, and then we deal with rotating if we have to. So we have everything set in these 4 first settings, and we're going to click OK. And then I'm going to put my picture in the scanner, and I'll show you this in a second, but I want you to see how this works. I'm going to click Start Scanning. So that whole scanner interface disappears during the scanning process, and you just sit here and wait. And it seems like, this is a 5x7 that I put through. It's doing the color enhancement, and it's saving both versions. So it seems like it takes a little bit more time here. So we just have to give it a couple more seconds, and then we'll be able to see this message here. Have more photos. You can scan the next batch or click Done Scanning. Incidentally, you see these 3 pictures ended up in my folder. That's how fast it works. It's really cool. So I'm going to click Done Scanning. And now I'm back in the software, and you can see I have 3 pictures here and 1 backside. Well, the backside, it must have thought that the dirty backside of my picture was something worth keeping. And then we have this first photo here. So here we have 1960s Cordis Photos 12. That's the original version. And then this is the enhanced version. It is significantly better, I think, and it's why we use this scanner here in our offices to scan 1960s and 1970s photos. The color restoration's beautiful. So we would go back in to the settings here. I've tested it. I'm going to go back into the settings and click enhancements, and then I'll just apply directly to the scanned photo. All right, and then move on. So yes, the enhanced version is amazing. It is show-stoppingly awesome. for those generations of pictures. We have other scanners here that we like to use for the other years. Scanners that are a little more powerful than the Epson is, but it's hands down this scanner. I'm really impressed. It is you do spend about $600 on the Epson Fastfoto 680. And if you watch for a sale, especially around Black Friday, I think you can get $50 off. So anyway, I'm going to go back to the organization here. And now I'm going to click and I'm going to choose this 2000 China folder because I have a few pictures from China that I want. Now I selected the folder and I'm going to click 2000 China as the name of the file. And I do want you to notice that it has that _A there because it will be added to enhanced file names. And the B is for the back. So you can see that it did that on those 3 pictures. Now, I will scan these with the enhanced version on. And then I think you'll see that it's really not that big of a difference. So you're going to see the before and after on these 2. All right, so let's just make sure. We're going to put it to the second copy. We're going to save both on this just for demonstration purposes. And I'm going to click OK. And now I'm going to click Scan. So even though it's still displaying my Cordis photos, that's all right. So now what I want to show you is I'm going to shut this off for a second. And then I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger here. And I'm going to just show you, how fast the scanner scans. And this is at 600 dots per inch. If you scan at 300 dots per inch, it's like really fast, but we don't recommend 300 dots per inch. So there it goes. And you just stack them in, and you do need to double check. Sometimes, one could maybe get missed, and I always recommend that we flip through them and make sure each picture was scanned like you expected. So that's it. It's just like that. So now we wait for the software to catch up, and we wait and wait. And usually it doesn't take this long. I noticed earlier that this computer was a little slower. It really doesn't usually take this long. I do recommend if your computer is a little slower than you expect that you restart it routinely. Your computer needs to be restarted. It's healthy to shut everything down, not have too many windows open, and restart. So, all right, done scanning. So I'm going to click done scanning. And now the folder is still displaying Cordis folders. So I have to go to the China folder, click that. And now you can see the China picture. So here, this is the original picture. I really wouldn't think anything was wrong with that. Maybe you, and let me make this a little bigger for you. So let's see. So there is the this is the original, and this one enhanced. Well, it is brighter. I'll say that. Here's one of those, the auto rotation. The picture went through, horizontal, and it rotated it, but it's upside down. So that's the original, and then here's the enhanced. It is a little brighter. This has definitely got a little bit more pop of color, yes. This one is upside down, even though I sent it through with it being right side up. The scanner thought it was upside down. This is a little duller than this photo, but this picture almost looks too colorful to me, almost fake, but this is truly up to the person's preferences, depending on how you like your pictures to look. You can have it without. So this is without the enhancement, and this is with. It is brighter. Here's another one without. That's a hippo, and the scanner turned it upside down. And this is, to me, it looks a little bright. Here's one where it's the right way to look at it. This is such a cool picture, from some river in China. And then if we click on it, the enhanced version is more colorful, but I almost feel like it's a little fake looking. If you like it, that's totally cool. What I will say, so here's before and then enhanced. What I will say is when you are using the enhanced version, make a choice, because if you end up with a folder that has all these duplicates in there, someday someone, and maybe never, but someday you might want to make a photo book about your trip to China if you actually got there, and you're going to have all these pictures, and now you're going to be faced with a decision like, well, which one should I use? And then your photo book process making will be frustrating. So my recommendation is test the enhancement and then turn off saving the original so that your photo library here, your folders, will have half the amount of pictures. I hope that makes sense. So that's the scanner demonstration. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. And I'm actually pretty surprised at how well this demonstration went tonight. You never quite know how the technology will work for you, and tonight it was spot on. So definitely ask questions. I'm happy to answer them. So while I wait to see if anybody does have a question, I will move on to the next thing that I wanted to cover tonight. And that is something that is the most horrible thing. Thank you. Robin says it was extremely informative. Sometimes you just need to be walked through a program or a software, and you need to know like what to look for in it. So I'm happy to do that. All right. Now, this may be the worst thing that Apple has ever done to consumers who care about their pictures. The live photo setting on your iPhone may become a headache for you someday. So if you want to know if you have live photos, if you're not sure what this is, you're going to want to go to the albums view on your phone. So this is for iPhone users, okay? You go to the Photos app and then look at the albums, and you'll scroll down until you see live photos. All right. You can see here, I have 365 of them. What that means is the live photo setting actually takes like a little 2 or 3, maybe 1 to 2 second video for a picture. So when you're swiping through your pictures, you might see them moving a little bit. What in the heck do you do with a moving picture? I mean, we're not that far advanced that I think we have any solution for them other than looking at them on our phone. So I am just going to show you here. This photo on the left-hand side is of Marcus. He celebrated his 2-year anniversary here working here, and we brought him donuts. And I don't know if you see this, there's a drag to move. I'm seeing, oh, that was on my screen. So in this picture on the left, you can see it's a live photo because at the top left it says live. And then you can see his eyes are looking down. So the middle frame here, the middle screenshot I have, I changed the live to loop. So my picture is actually looping through. It starts over when it finishes the movement, and I caught the screenshot when he was smiling. This is the picture that I want, where he's happy and smiling and looking at the camera. So what do you do? On the iPhone, you can actually click the edit, at the top there, and then you'll go into what you see here in the last frame is where you can make the key photos. So on the bottom choices next to cancel, you see the circles there? That's the live photo selector. And when you click that, you get to choose which frame of that moving photo that you want to be the key photo. And so now I've selected it to be him smiling. All right. If you use a PC and you transfer your pictures from your iPhone to a folder, you're going to end up with a keyframe and a little video, a little, I think it's an MP4, not sure. And then you're going to have to figure out what to do with that, okay? So for now, what I'm going to tell you tonight is we want to make sure that that setting's turned off. Be aware, because even if I don't realize that the live setting is on, I'll all of a sudden have a dozen pictures like this, and I hate that. So in the next screen here, I have on the left-hand side the camera settings that you want on your iPhone, okay? So I've circled preserve settings. No one in a gazillion years would ever think to go into there to shut off the live photos, right? So terrible. Apple is terrible. All right, so we are in the camera settings and we're in preserve. When we click that, the next screen comes up. All right, so all we care about down here is live photo. And it's on, like the toggle is on. You would think that that means I want live photos to happen on my iPhone, but I don't. It's turned on because of the preserve setting, and I've covered it up with the red circle a little bit. But what this is actually saying is if you turn live photo off on your camera, when you're in the camera taking pictures and you turn live photo off, the next time that you open your camera, the phone will preserve the off setting. I can't believe how complicated that is. Like, why would it not just say turn the feature off? But no, we're turning the setting that we on to keep it turned off. So this has to be on. Okay, so then we go to the next screen. So you need that to be on. All right, so on the left-hand side, I'm in my phone. I'm getting ready to take a picture of our display here, okay? And I see that live is on because I have the yellow square that says live, and I see the circles in the right-hand part of the screen. It's on. We don't want that. We want to turn it off. So we have to touch those circles, which you see on the right-hand side. I've clicked those circles, got the line through it, and now live is off. All right. So the next time I open my iPhone, the live setting will be off like I had it here. Otherwise, the default is for the live to be on every time. There are literally clients of mine who have thousands and thousands of live photos. It's demoralizing, and I feel terrible that there's a lot of decisions to be made about how to handle all of that. So that is my public service announcement. You turn that live setting off and turn the preserve setting on so that when you open your camera, it's always off. And then be vigilant, because for whatever reason your phone might update and then it starts taking live photos again. It's just crazy. So I will say, there are other problems with taking pictures with phones that can arise. And I see Karen has one here too. Her Android phones had a burst setting that she kept getting, and you can take anywhere from 10 to 30 photos similar to Apple Live. And actually, Apple has a burst setting as well. And then you have to choose which picture to save from the burst. You really have to be careful. Your phone can really make a mess out of taking pictures at a family event. So that's why it's important to work with your pictures at least each month to clean them up, so that it might remind you to watch out for these things that can trip up your photo organization. So let's see what else here. John says, or when you're in the camera app, you can just hit the circle on the right side on top and click to turn it on and off. Yes, turn it on and off. But if you change the setting in the preserve setting so that it preserves your off, then you don't have to worry about doing that. Sometimes I try to watch for it now and be aware of it. So awareness is like half of the battle, right? You got to be aware that you're even taking live photos. And a lot of people don't realize that they're doing that. So John, definitely you're turning these on and turn it off. I can't actually even think of a reason why I would want a live photo. It's just crazy. And Robin, so how can we fix it? They have 2,300 live photos. I will talk about this in further detail next week. I already showed you how you can choose a key frame in one of these prior slides here. You can choose the key photo, and then that is important. But on 2,300 pictures, probably you're going to figure out which of these you even want to save. Maybe you only need 1,500 of the photos, and then and then you'll just live with the key photo that Apple assigns, which might be the first frame. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't tested it that far. It might be the first frame that Apple saves. That's definitely what happened with Marcus's photo here. So crazy. All right. So that is my my public service announcement. Be aware of live photos and turn it off. And also cautionary tale, be aware of bursts of photos. You don't want to have to manage a lot of those either. So thank you, John and Robin and Karen, for sharing there. That is, it's just great to be able to talk about this and then tell your friends, because I think more people are doing it out there than realize. All right, then let's see what's next on my agenda here. I think those are the major topics. I haven't seen any other questions that I can think of. Karen did have one here. I have duplicates that are in 8x10s, 5x7s, 3x5s, and wallet size. What is the best size to scan and what resolution? So these portraits are insidious. I'm assuming these are portraits, duplicate portraits. And what we do here is we'll choose the best version of the portrait. So sometimes it is sometimes it ends up being the wallet size, and I hate that because those are so putsy to scan. But if that's the case and that's your best photo, then the wallet size, you're going to scan the wallet size at 600 dots per inch. You could even scan it at 1,200 dots per inch because it is so small. We like to choose the 5x7 or the 3x5. Either one of those sizes makes a good scan. The 8x10s get putsy to save, so and they take up more digital space as well. So when we have a whole bunch of duplicates, we'll go with the 3x5 first, or the 5x7, and then set the other ones aside, and maybe even get rid of them. So I'm hoping that it answers the question. And so if you're scanning the 3x5s and 5x7s, those would be scanned at 600 dots per inch as well. All right. Then while I wait and see if there's any other questions, I am going to just put a plug in for my masterclass. Now, of course, the first week we had ours last week. The first class was last week, and it actually went really well. And it is an hour and a half, and I really strongly, recommend, if you don't have a plan for saving your pictures, that you join it. There's so much good things to learn about saving your pictures, and getting motivated to get it done is, part of the battle. And then managing the technology is another part of the battle. And I'm here to help you with this. So in the comments below, at least on YouTube, I have links for the masterclass as well as links to the articles about the properties issue in case you wanted to know more about that. So, with that being said, I don't see any other questions. And next week, I'll talk more about the live photos and how to manage them. And I'll probably come up with a couple other questions that people have in the meantime. So, that is it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and happy photo saving, happy memory preservation, because you're taking steps that a lot of people haven't, and it's so important to save these pictures. Literally tomorrow it could be too late. You could have a drive die, a computer die. You could have someone really important pass away unexpectedly, and I've seen it happen. So it's time for us to celebrate our memories today together, and go from there. So thank you guys so much. We will see you maybe next week. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Oh, I'll just show this. You are so welcome, Karen. I'm glad that I'm able to pass along some knowledge and you learn something new, because there's always something new to learn with this stuff. So take care, you guys. Thank you, and we'll see you the next time.